Hello, everybody. Welcome to Sarah's School. Yes, every now and then we have a Sarah School of continuing education. What does continuing education mean? It means that I am directing you to places to do some more research just in case you need to buff up on why I'm talking about this all the time and the importance from people with definitely higher pay grades than me and all those little initials after their names that shown that they've done the work, the research, and studying to find out why it's wrong for us, why we need to eliminate it from our food plan. And not just what some old lady says to you that's always clearing her throat because of allergies in the morning, right? So, my name is Sarah, Pearls of Wisdom in Food, with keto under 20 and no sugar in my food plan unless it comes inside of the food item. No added sugar. And I apologize. Anyway, the new Vitality is out. And look what it says right at the top. Does sugar cause chronic disease? Does it? Do you think that that's what we talk a lot about here? The chronic diseases from sugar? And how sugar is really the villain, but what do they make it? They make it saturated fats. If you're on a standard American diet, they don't give a whimsy or a rat's about the sugar and grains that turn to sugar and too much protein that turns to, you guessed it, sugar. So, one of the biggest gurus in sugar is Dr. Robert Lustig, and he will go to the grave talking about sugar and what it does to us, and sugar affecting the liver, and just how dangerous it is, and how much sugar we have in our food items that are liquid. It is just absolutely amazing. And this doesn't even touch into the artificial sweeteners that can just wreak havoc with your body. And there's not a lot of research done to show what happens later on if you've been drinking your 6-pack of diet soda every single day thinking that this is quite okay, thank you very much. It's really not. And so if I could keep you away from the diet, the artificial sweeteners as well, that would be great. So Dr. Robert Lustig has a book out, Fat Chance, Beating the Odds Against Sugar, Processed Foods, Obesity, and Disease. Now, how many of you are here because of that? Oh, quite a few. I see almost every hand is up. So, what keeps us tethered to our cravings for sugar? Artificial crap, ketofied desserts, ketofied breads. They might not be doing it to you internally, but they're doing, well, they might be, not in your gut, but in your brain, and visually, because you're still keeping that sugar addict alive and fed. And although the sugar addict is not really saying, artificial, or even the sugar alternatives, you're still staying connected to the sugar tooth that I, for one, came here to get rid of, okay? So the sugar is making us sick. This is not new news. Now, the Heart Association, the American Heart Association, right? They're the ones that are given millions and millions of dollars to keep us in the dark, really, about how the sugar lobbyists are out there just keeping Congress signing approve to all of the money that's going to the Heart Association and the Diabetes Association. 6 teaspoons, that's 24 grams for women. And 36 grams, which is 9 teaspoons. There's 4 grams per teaspoon for men. and 3 to 6 teaspoons for children. That's horrible, right? And so, so what they're talking about in most of this article that I won't bore you with, but I just wanted to direct you to the Sugar Science Foundation. It is out of the University of California, San Francisco. So I will put this down. You know, people, I'm telling you, people are working so hard to keep us in the dark. And so many people are working so hard to have the truth be told about sugar in our food plans and what it is doing to us. And it's more than just diabetes. It's your liver. It's everything. And so the Sarah School is giving you some researching to do over this weekend. And going to these websites. And one site leads to the next, as many of you may be familiar with. And I think it's just important to know what you're choosing to put into your body, or maybe you're not even aware of what you're putting in your body, and choosing to make saner choices in the future. So here we go. Here are the websites coming up. All right, this is the Sugar Science one that they directed us to from the article, The Unsweetened Truth. So basically their homepage is rather limited. So you have to press on to things to find more things, which is the point of my doing this video. And then look at that. Test your knowledge. How many people have diabetes in America? 8 to 4 million, the population of New York City. 10 million, the size of Los Angeles. 29.1 million, the population of Venezuela. So you're supposed to vote, and then here are the results. How many people have diabetes in America? The correct answer is 29.1 million, and that's diagnosed. There are all the other ones. We've got the metabolic syndrome, then we've got the prediabetes, then whack, you're hit with diabetes type 2. And so the undiagnosed are the scary ones because they're continuing with their standard American diet. There are way too many grams of sugar added onto their foods, or they're buying processed foods with it in it. And so, yeah. All right, now this is sugar hidden in plain sight. So I tapped onto this, and what it brought up, I put in sugar hiding in plain sight. And what this brought up was a TED Talk about sugar shots by Dr. Robert Lustig. And then over here, how sugar affects the brain, the chemistry of cookies. That doesn't sound good. Sugar, the elephant in the living room. That's Robert Lustig. That's a 23-minute talk. How do carbohydrates impact your health? Are spotty fruits and vegetables safe to eat? The effects of sugar, 45-minute documentary from CBC News, which, if you want the truth about sugar, watch Canadian or British documentaries, because you're not going to really get it here unless you're watching somebody like Dr. Eric Berg. There he is. And then here's another one, which is not the United States. There's Dr. Robert Lustig, again, with The Bitter Truth. That's a well-known documentary, 90 minutes long. And so what I'm trying to do is just awaken inside of you the long-term effects of what sugar can do to your body if you continue to have it. And I came to keto under 20 because I wanted to lose my sweet tooth. I wanted to get those carb cravings for sugar, for sweet, gone. And I wanted to also, by giving up the grains, I wanted to get my carb addiction gone. I must have, I was a French toast maple syrup type of person, probably had a half a cup when I ordered. I'd bring my own maple syrup to restaurants because they had shot bottles of them. But by the seventh bottle, at $3.50 a pop, it's like I could have gone and gotten a Kobe steak at Ruth Chris's, right? And so I wanted to get rid of the carb and the sugar addiction inside of me. And I wanted to switch from a sweet tooth to a savory tooth. I just love that word savory. It just conjures up this grass-fed brisket that is slow cooked in the oven and is just fall apart moist. So, who, me, a food addict? What are you talking about? Not me. But sugar had to go. And when I gave up sugar, day one, a lot of jonesing, a lot of withdrawals. It's a drug inside of your body. And to think that there's no emotional or physical hangover created with that, you're crazy, because it's, there will be a hangover. And what I'm noticing from watching a lot of these keto podcasts is that it's that whole mentality of like, it shouldn't feel like we're suffering. We should still have the sugar and the carby-like items. There shouldn't be any pain or withdrawal or giving up, going without. And so I'm not sure if the point is being made that we switch our sweet tooth for savory, high-fat items that are satiating and long-term slow digesting in our body to keep us going from one meal to the next, keeping that insulin, blood sugar spike low and steady. And maybe if you're only having 2 meals a day like I am, there's only 2 spikes a day because it's the 2 times that I eat. And that is enough. And if you're at 1 meal a day, congratulations, good for you. I couldn't do it. But I'm at the 2 meal a day place, and so I get enough fat in my food plan. So I'm not thinking I need sugar or sugary things or the craving for sugar. And it lessens. Trust me, trust and believe me with this, is that if you stop having artificial sweeteners and you stop having sugary ketofied desserts, non-sugar, alternative sugar, or artificial sugar desserts, and also the visual part, it slowly goes away. It does. It diminishes. And then you start thinking, at least I start thinking, I start thinking about my salad that I'm having tonight, the savory flavors that come from it, putting in uncured bacon, putting in 4 ounces of a grass-fed filet mignon chopped up, the organic romaine, the beautiful 10 grams of blue cheese that doesn't sound like a lot, but it adds a je ne sais pas to my salad. It's getting rid of the sugar parts. And so if you go to YouTube and look at sugar hiding in plain sight, you will be like stunned into like, really? Really? There too? Oh my. And you will also learn a whole lot from watching any of the TED Talks. Dr. Robert Lustig is just absolutely a no-nonsense, no-sugar kind of guy. And he is as important to the keto family and community as people that tout keto, doctors and experts that tout keto, because sometimes we get a little complacent and lackadaisical, also known as lazy keto, and we start like searching for all of these go-to other types of recipes. And I say that's fine if you're at maintenance. If you're not at maintenance, it should be something that you look at on your plate and know and identify. Yep, cauliflower came from the ground. Yep, spinach. Yep, came from the ground. an organic heritage pig, grass-fed pig pork chop, yes, that came from a safe place that we could be eating because we're eating what that pig ate, and the pig was fed grass and nutritious things. We know where it came from. It wasn't filled with feed that came from that weed killer, the Monsanto thing, Roundup. It didn't come from that, nor did the spinach come from being sprayed with weed kill Roundup. That's it doesn't leave that little leaf. You could scrub that thing with a Brillo pad, and there'd still be traces of these horrible chemicals that create cancer inside of us. So just beware and be grateful that there are all these organizations like the Sugar Science that are doing so much work behind the scenes to keep us safe with our food items and our food choices, and to get the knowledge out there so we even know what we're doing. So that is your homework assignment, is to read Sugar Hiding in Plain Sight Places on your YouTube, and also the Sugar Science site itself that will lead to this and lead to that, and it'll just bring sugar to the front of your head. So yes, doing keto is important. Keeping it under 20 is important. Tracking your food is more than important. I was watching yet another keto channel today on my first walk, and the woman was cooking. It had to be 10 ounces of ground beef, not grass-fed. And she's cooking it, and she said, "I'm trying to get back on track." Okay, so you take that sentence, "I'm trying to get back on track." What would that signal to Sarah if I was trying to get back on track and I had taken a detour way over here? What does on track mean to me? It means weighing and measuring and tracking. That's what back on track means. And then she said, like a couple of sentences later, "I didn't weigh this because I didn't want to take time to do that." Well, that's why you're having 10 ounces of feedlot ground beef for your lunch, because you didn't take the time to weigh it. But 2 sentences ago, you said you wanted to get back on track. So we need to be careful of our verbiage when we're talking to other people. And I would no sooner show you how I was having something with 10 ounces of ground beef and call it 4 and say I was too busy to weigh and measure this, because I know the difference between 10 ounces and 4 ounces, and I bet most of you do too, because you are weighing and measuring, right? Because there is a difference. And you know that when you have too much protein, it will turn to sugar in your body. So all of the good things that you're doing, even if there's no sugars or grains, could be still turning to sugar because you're having way too much protein. Keto is high fat, moderate protein, and carbs under 20. So just try to keep that in your head as you're doing weighing and measuring and putting your food in your tracker, because you want to see the benefits of keto. No eyeballing. That's not fair to yourself, and you want to be fair to yourself. Thanks so much for watching, all you sweet toothers. You've got your homework for the weekend. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye for now.